It is time for Magic on this nation's number one station for news, talk and sports. 99.3 Nigeria for football, magic, other sports coming to the fore as well too. Game on the show. Femi and the gang, the team Nigeria for the station, and you. And the rest of us in the studio, the guys who make things happen right here, right now. Coming up on the show tonight, we will look back at the quarterfinal matches in the FA Cup and look ahead to the semi-final fixtures, trying to gauge the performances of the top sides in England this season. Poor, decent, good, or excellent. We'll pick the teams one after the other and classify them on the show tonight. Also, the race for the league titles in Spain and Italy are heating up. Are we going to have a 2 or 3 horse race in those territories? So we'll try to make some sense around that one. And there's some big news around Nigeria trying to host the Commonwealth Fencing Championship at the behest of the guys who are running things, and we're having the slots over Australia. Not forgetting one play money for you, well, certainly 120,000 naira is something we have always loved giving out every day to you. You know, yesterday 3 winners came through. Day before that, 3 winners came through as well too. It's going to be 40,000 naira each for several winners on the show tonight, and you can play right now if you haven't played yet by dialing star 347 star 880 star 3 hash. That's star 347 star 880 star 3 hash. Or you can use the website oneplay.ng. The under 17 AFCON has kicked off. There's no Nigeria in the mix. What happened to us from being 5-time world champions to not being able to even qualify for an African competition? We'll speak to the former media officer of the side who was part of the most successful set for the under-17 team that were world champions in 2013 and 2015. And we have your comments via the WhatsApp portal using X and the phone lines to share too. This should be fun on the show tonight. Welcome. Let the fun begin. No time to waste at all because there's so much really as Overdose is trying to sing with Magic System. But if they sang tenor, what are you singing?
I'm singing.
No be bass. No be bass.
I know there's tenor, there's bass, there's soprano, there's alto.
You got all now. That's the four. Really.
Thank you.
Are you in the choir at any point?
No.
Never. You know everything.
But I mean, you know, I love music. Good music too. You know. And, yeah, he's my favorite artist. That's common knowledge. You know, I love his songs. Maybe not the personality, but the songs. You know, maybe one day I'll come. I'll come correct to the personality. You know, but you know, the songs always get me. But anyways, it's good to be here. You know, the elders always say that when the lion starts eating grass, even the goat will have the courage to knock him in the head. You understand? So that's what it is. It is where a child, the bush that the child got the snail, that's where his eyes are always drawn, you know, anytime. A child does not go and start playing in the compound where his father is owing too much debt, you know, because at the end of the day, you know what might happen.
I get it.
Exactly. So it's good to be here. Beans, moi moi and akara, say, now the same mama born them, but now waiting they pass through, now you make them different. Anyways, it's always a wonderful pleasure to be.
I don't need jot, I don't need jot. From here to Ojota, I use my jota, bro. I once called like Diego Jota.
Oh my goodness, yes. No food for lazy man, no be for person where your wife get canteen. But anyways, it's good to be here.
It go shock you when wife say, if you don't pay, you are not eating this food.
No, she can't do that.
All right.
But anyways, it's good to be here. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the conversations, robust conversations as always, because that's what we stand for, Nigeria Info. Yeah. Let's talk. So let's talk the talk.
The talk has just started. Exactly. Really, Adeze Michael joins the broadcast as well. How are you doing, Adeze? Good evening.
I'm fine. Good evening. Good evening, Lagos. Good evening, everybody. Overdose, what's up?
I'm very well, Ada. How you doing?
I just did.
You just did, like Didi.
Today is supposed to be public holiday, but essential workers were here. We're here to talk because we
that's what we signed for.
Yeah,
that's what we signed for.
That's
the passion.
I remember the day I was signing.
You have to put the passion.
The day I was signing the contract at Teacher's office, January 2021.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of the contract that I signed.
That's what it is. I mean, when you do these things, you have to do it for love. So let's entertain those that are listening, the fans, and of course everyone enjoying the holidays. We're enjoying the holidays, but we're enjoying it differently. Yes, by coming to the studio to talk. So
while they are enjoying the holidays, we have the jolly days, right? All right.
like that.
Straight away into the action. And this is the oldest cup competition in the world, the FA Cup. So it has some storied history. Well, this year's edition of the competition, or do I say this season's edition, has had its own fair share of huge shocks. The elimination and exit of the likes of Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool, and even Tottenham Hotspur earlier, means that we're down to 4 teams. And out of those 4, only one is a traditional top 6 side. Here are results of FA Cup games that we had on Saturday and Sunday. If you missed out on it, I'm here to bring you up to speed. With so much speed for that matter. Yeah, there was Crystal Palace beating Fulham by 3-0 to march on to the semis. And we saw Brighton play out a 0-0 draw against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham going on to win through penalty kicks. With these two sides, Crystal Palace and Nottingham, becoming the first 2 teams into the last 4 stage of the FA Cup. Sunday came with his own fair share of drama. And Aston Villa, with Marcus Rashford netting twice. Very happy moment for the player who still has Manchester United as his parent club, but is on loan with Unai Emery's team. One of those goals coming from the penalty spot. Villa beating Preston North End. And, Villa don't want their drive in this competition to end. So they had to ensure that it did end for Preston North End. 3-0, that victory for Aston Villa. The final game was Man City away at AFC Bournemouth's territory. And the citizens knew they had to fight because this is their last chance for silverware this season. Well, ironically for them, they conceded first. So certainly had to fight back with Erling Haaland and Omar Mamouche scoring the goals that led them to get a 2-1 victory from that game. So Man City on paper remain as number 1 favourites to win the FA Cup. What are the semi-final pairings like at this stage? Watch out for April 26th. That's when we should have the semi-final matches. Nottingham Forest against Manchester City and Crystal Palace taking on Aston Villa. So Palace, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Manchester City. These matches coming up on the 26th of April. I'm getting the thoughts of the guys in the beat as to their favourites to win this. But I'm also keen to evaluate the performances of the high-profile teams in England this season. Many of them started the campaign battling for 4 titles, e.g. Chelsea, UEFA Europa Conference League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. Arsenal, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League. Man City, same. Manchester United, Europa League, same with Tottenham Hotspur. But all of these teams came in with ambitions. Some may not win a title this season. One are still on course in Man City to get the FA Cup. But even with that, their coach Pep Guardiola says it has been a poor season. And so I would love us to classify, heading into the month of April, what the season has been like for the top sides in England this term, looking at their performances across all 4 competitions for most of them. Pep, how far? This FA Cup, if you win them, suppose me say your season day descent now, Abi?
Of course, we could be nice, arrive the final champion, the FA Cup, and win it, and qualify for the Champions League. But I'm pretty sure still right now happened before that is a big success. But the season has been poor.
So Pep Guardiola had shared these thoughts even before the AFC Bournemouth game that even if we won the FA Cup or go on to win it, it wouldn't take away the fact that Man City's season has been poor. He adds to it that even qualifying for the UEFA Champions League will not dilute how poor a season it has been for his darling Man City setup. So Brownish joins the show too. How are you doing, Brownish? Good to see you, man.
Really fantastic. Brownish dressing in brown. You know the vibes. Everything, including my Crocs, all brown.
Too much.
Too much.
Waiting else, they brown now.
My wallet.
Okay.
And my bank account. All brown.
Bank account is brown.
So guys, let's look at this. Heading into the final 2 months of the season, you're all lecturers with your score sheet for the top teams in England. And by top teams, I mean Man City 1, whose manager has already scored his team, saying it's been a poor season. Okay? Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. Those 5 teams. as at the end of March 31, 2025, how do you score their season? Now, beyond the percentage score, I'm looking at these yardsticks. Poor, decent, good, excellent.
Poor,
so
decent,
4.
good,
Yeah, poor,
excellent.
decent, good, excellent. This is first come, first serve right now. You came into the studio first. So let's start with you on this.
All right.
Lecturer Diesel.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, how do I start? The top 6 sides?
Yeah, you can just pick top 5, sir. So
Okay.
Man U, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. That's it. So you can pick them one after the other and just let me know. Let's
Okay,
go.
so for Liverpool, I think I will give them excellent.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All
I'll
4
give them-
competitions, so you're judging them across board.
Oh, okay.
So you're
not-
judging based on their performance across all 4
across
competitions
all
this season. Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
I can't give them poor.
You see, as he had to be lecturer.
I can't give them poor.
So poor, decent, good, excellent.
I can't give them poor, and I can't give them decent. I'll give them good.
Okay.
Yes, I think Liverpool have been good. They've really shown. Forget about the fact that they were knocked out in the final. It could have gone either way. But Newcastle wanted it more based on the fact that it's been long. They've actually picked up silverware, so they gave everything, and Liverpool started declining. I don't know if it's due to fatigue, but I want to guess that's what it is. I mean, you look at the fact that Arne Slot was rotating the team, and then of course they were winning matches after matches. I think only 2 losses or just 1 loss
In the league, right?
Yes, against Nottingham Forest, if I'm not mistaken.
Just 1, yeah.
Yeah, and you look at the fact that they were always making sure that they held their own in terms of Premier League games. So yes, getting to the round of 16, that was a drawback in my opinion after topping the 8-team league. I thought they should have gone even further, maybe into the semi-final. But again, I mean, you can't really judge a book by its color. So I'll give Liverpool good.
Okay.
Moving on to Manchester United.
Okay,
I
sir.
don't know if you can even consider them a top side in Manchester United. I'll give them poor. Man United have been very, very poor. Very, very poor. Forget about the Europa League. I mean, the Europa League, they're in the quarterfinals now,
Yeah.
but in the league, I mean, how can you be in the second half of the table? I mean, bottom side of the table. I can't remember the last time Manchester United were in the bottom half. Changing managers, players not really living up to expectation. And I don't really see them getting past Lyon, to be honest.
Wow.
Because, I mean, it's really, really a tough one. But, you look at Lyon, you look at the side who also have what it takes to even better Man United now. Because look at Manchester United in the league, losing to Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, losing games, not even having a clear identity, which is why I say they're bad for me. And I know that Ruben Amorim is trying to work it out. Whether or not he succeeds next season, that's his problem. And of course, I don't know if he will come good. So bad for Manchester United.
Poor, wow.
Poor,
Okay,
sorry.
sir.
Poor, decent, good, excellent.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Manchester United are poor this season. Then I'll go to Chelsea. Chelsea have been decent in the fact that they've played well in the Conference League, even though it's not their quality. But then again, the Premier League, at some point they got up to 3rd, and then the manager decided that, we still don't have enough in our personnel to challenge for the league. And then at the end of the day, whether or not it has affected the players' confidence, they started dropping points and they started losing games. So decent in terms of the fact that, yes, Chelsea are not where they need to be right now because they've dropped points really, really bad. But they're doing well in the Conference League, so I'll say decent. So that's 3 down.
So far you've gone Liverpool good,
Yes.
Manchester United poor,
Poor,
Chelsea decent. So you
decent.
have Arsenal and Man City now.
Arsenal, I'll say Arsenal are also good. Arsenal are good in the fact that, yes, they're in the Champions League quarterfinals now. But in the league, they really have not impressed me. Yes, at some point, I was really hoping that Arsenal would, punch above their weight. But then again, playing without a striker. I don't know why they didn't get a striker in the January transfer window. And it's been a recurring decimal for Arsenal, always, fighting. But then at the end, when you really need them to put their best foot forward, they fall behind, and then they now say, oh, okay, we're coming back next season. I won't be surprised if, they are knocked out by Real Madrid in the quarterfinal of the UEFA Champions League, because, yes, injuries have affected them, but let's not take out the fact that at times when you expect Arsenal to actually deliver, they've fallen short. Just trying to, quickly wrap up so that others can have, a say. So I'll say, yes, they've been good, but not up to standard. Then, of course, you have Manchester City,
whose coach has already said they are poor.
I wouldn't even say they are poor. I think I would say they are below poor by their high standards.
This
below poor. Below poor in the sense that this is a Man City side that is revered, or was revered coming into the season. Man City side who you would even bet on to retain the league. Yes, they've done it 5 times, but also you want to look at lack of motivation. When you've done something 5 times, you just look at, is there any need for me to even push? Because majority of these players, have really given everything, and age is not on their side. Players like De Bruyne, players like Bernardo Silva. You look at Gunnahan, who went to Barcelona and came back. So below par for Man City. They were supposed to challenge for the league. They fell way off the mark in the Champions League, beaten by Real Madrid. Over 2 legs. And then you look at the FA Cup. They were not really okay. Yes, they're in the FA Cup now. They're semi-final. I was talking about the Carabao Cup. Beg your pardon. The Carabao Cup, they were not just it for me. So personally, below par for me. So below par for Man City, par for Man United,
decent for Chelsea,
Arsenal, and Liverpool, and then
decent for Chelsea.
Yes.
I copy that. We'll get the thoughts of Adese, Michael, and Brownish in the coming minutes. We have a commercial break in just about 2 minutes' time. Let me use that to lay the foundation for getting your thoughts via WhatsApp too. You can always tell us what's up using WhatsApp, and we're looking at the top 5 teams in England as to pedigree and consistency over the years, and we are having to have this conversation based on the thoughts of Pep Guardiola, who says there's going to be a poor season for Man City, whether they finish in the top 5 and qualify for the Champions League and win the FA Cup or not, that it still will be a poor season. So I'm saying, hey, let's look at these top 5 teams and judge them. There are four ranks on this. There is poor, there's decent, there is good, and there's excellent. Let's get your thoughts on that. Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City, Arsenal, and Chelsea, the teams we are speaking about. Don't forget that we do have money to give out to you courtesy of One Play. Have you played yet? It's going to cost you only 500 naira for each entry of yours, and that's simply by you jumping on this one using the website oneplay.ng to play. That's oneplay.ng, or dialing the code *347 *880 *3 hash. That's *347 *880 *3 hash. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to you, Femi the Pundit. We'll be sharing some of your comments from Facebook and YouTube, so you can also drop your comments on those platforms. And hey, so much more to come. Let's see if I can squeeze in one call before that first commercial break in 60 seconds time. You can dial 0201 277 0993 to join the show. That's 0201 277 0993. Well, Femi, I can see your message, and this is Femi based in the USA this time around, who says, Chuma, please let's have a chance to contribute with WhatsApp calls for we calling abroad. Yeah, Femi, that's standard practice, like I told you. So what I need to do is just to open the Nigerian for WhatsApp app on the computer, so when your call comes in, we can see that and pick here. For those of you who are based abroad, with Skype folding up at this stage, or do I say just folding, we are focused on picking your calls for our diaspora listener through WhatsApp. So Femi, sure, you can call in after we return from this commercial break to have your say on our conversation. Let's go in for that break now. There's so much more to you. Come on, game on after this time.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's King. His followers ready for revolution.
Will descend on us all.
Rebellion is in the air, but Jesus turns the tables.
My house should be called a house of prayer, but you make it a den of thieves.
The Chosen Season 5, Last Supper, showing in cinemas this April. Follow at The Chosen TV NG on Instagram and visit thechosentevng.com. NigerInfo.com for exclusive updates.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Let me ask you a question. What holds you back when you wake up each morning? Is it the uncertainty of how the day will unfold? And as the day goes on, what makes your heart race? Is it the quiet fear that maybe you're not doing enough? And when it's evening, is it the longing for just a little more time? Whatever it is, remember, challenges don't define you, but how you rise to meet them. Staying connected to your dreams, that's how you break free from limits. Get unlimited data plus up to 6-hour battery backup to keep you connected without interruptions on Airtel 4G 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to find out more. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
My ions, please, can't get enough. My ions, please, give it to me now, now. It gon' rehydrate you, yeah. Replenish your ions with Pocari Sweat. Rehydrate you faster, easily observe. Pocari Sweat, give me some more. Pocari Sweat.
During this blessed month of Ramadan, we begin with faith and the spirit of giving.
Families and neighbors come together by sharing delicious meals. From jollof rice to tomato stew, from moi moi to porridge beans, every meal is specially prepared and flavorful with Onga seasoning cubes. Together, we share not just food, but love with those who need it most.
Celebrate the blessings of this holy month with Onga seasoning cubes. Onga, for great taste and aroma.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, so.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
She start chasing all the bags. Come and secure another bag with the Jolly Just Come Welcome offer. Download BetKing app and register today using the promo code FREEBETS to enjoy your 100 Naira instant sign-up bonus and other exciting offers. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18 years. Play responsibly.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's game on.
Feel the magic in the air.
That did not take too much time, or did it? Welcome back to the show Game On, brought to you by Femi and the Gang on Nigeria Info. Chuma, Vados, Brownish, and Daisy in the studio. You're also out there too, yes, sir. Shout out to you, yeah. We're streaming live, by the way, on Facebook, just to remind you, and on YouTube too. So beyond hearing our audio, you can watch the video and see what's happening live in the studio while enjoying our voices through your radio. You know, it's a mixture of everything right here for you on the show. Your thoughts on WhatsApp and X make sense to us and for us. Also, your comments on Facebook and YouTube will be read out on the broadcast. So we laid the foundation before we went in for the commercial break. Just to remind you again that still to come on Game On tonight, we'll talk about the CAF Under-17 Cup of Nations that has started without Nigeria and try and have...
It's okay, that is okay.
It's not okay now. Make I just talk. I know say it vex you. Say I talk to Nigeria, I know they this AFCON, you know. But we'll have an in-depth conversation into why we were successful in the past at Under-17 level and what the problem is now with the quest to find solutions to make us a better bunch again in the years to come. And of course, the title race in Spain and Italy. What's up with the guys? Looks like it may just be a two-horse race after all, beyond the threat coming in from the third-placed teams, I should say, in those respective leagues. There's some talk around Nigeria getting the hosting rights for the Commonwealth fencing competition. All of those to come. some important part of this cake is one play money. Yes, so I know they use money, they play. Now I won't give you money because you have one play. Star 347 star 880 star 3 hash. You can use that code to play. Or the website www.oneplay.ng. I'll give out money 40k each to Sarah winners on the show tonight. Straight away to Adeze Michael. We've heard the thoughts of those we're scoring as lecturers. These high-profile teams in England, 5 of them, and that has come because of the words of Pep Guardiola, who says even if his team were to win the FA Cup, they have had a poor season. Overdose scored Liverpool good, Manchester United poor, Chelsea decent, Arsenal good, and Man City poor. So the rates are poor, decent, good, and excellent. How do you score the most successful 5 teams, or the 5 most successful teams in English football for all of these years? Adeze, your turn.
I'll start with. I'll have to do it alphabetically.
Okay.
Arsenal. I'll just go straight to the point. Arsenal, poor season. They've been bridesmaid twice. That's not enough. It's a poor season by the high bar they raised. Chelsea Football Club, decent season. £1 billion spent. 6 managers struggling to qualify for Champions League. 3 years after Todd Bowley's consortium. Liverpool, close to excellent. Yeah, excellent for me because yes, they capitulated within a week. That happens, but for a new manager to come on board, it's a fairy tale. Slotted it so well, and it is the fact that if Klopp was still in charge, Liverpool may not be fighting for the title. Even if, despite the fact that there's Manchester City's decline, you never know what's just going to happen. When a new manager has come, it's almost they're just clattering their way into the title. So for me, it's an excellent season for Liverpool because of that managerial landscape. Because people have used new manager as an excuse. He just came now, give him time. But this man is hitting it. The FA Cup, they would have even been at Wembley if not for that very hubris decision to field Team B against Plymouth Argyle. You know, so Liverpool for me, excellent. Okay. Manchester City, I will say dreadful. You didn't include poor, but I'm looking for a worse word than poor, which is dreadful season by their standard. I know they've had to go through a lot of injury contents and all that. Everybody has had their own share of injury, so it's a dreadful season for Manchester City. You know, when you raise the standard so high, and then you fall below par, they can't wait and go. In fact, they say person will be human being that they talk about. I be person way like you have to be somebody for people to talk about you. If you're nobody, them is nobody talking about you. So the standard is so high that if they even finish the season by winning the FA Cup, some people will say it's still poor. But I have my own opinion about finishing the season with the FA Cup, though. I think it's a good, even though Pep Guardiola is trying to, play it down. Poor, man. Yeah, it's poor if they finish it. But for Manchester United, dreadful. That's all I have to say.
Wow. Okay, 2 dreadfuls, which is just below poor. That's a new category. But by the way, for you who's listening, feel free to use poor, decent, good, and excellent. 4 categories, so you don't get yourself confused. And lecturer Brownish. Let's see how nice a lecturer he is when he's scoring people in this life.
Oh, I'm a very mean person. I'm absolutely terrible when it comes to scoring people. Because first off, I don't think any of these teams deserve to be saying that they had an excellent season. Zeros. Wow. In fact, to a large extent, I feel like the reason why I would say maybe some might be close to good is because there's all of them have been rubbish. If we're being very honest, right? Yes, I agree. Okay, so let's start from the worst of the worst. The poorest of the poor. Let's talk about the most abysmal. I don't understand how this team Overdose gave them poor and gave Manchester City worse than poor. Because this team, not only do they have there's nobody that has higher standards in the Premier League than Manchester United. There's nobody that has higher standards than Manchester United. Because when they are shouting, 3 Champions League trophies, when they are shouting, we are the first to win a treble, 20 league titles, 1999 squad, everybody, the ratio that they saw like bread, they put inside water, and Gary where they put inside water leave. So these people they've not been, what was that word you used? for them and City.
Dreadful.
They've not even been dreadful. They've been absolutely abysmal. They've been woeful. They've been a disgrace to everything that has to do with good football and has to do with being a top team in England or in the entirety of Europe. Manchester United, absolutely. The words I cannot even use, NTBB. And what's the words I want to use and describe them? But for the sake of the argument, let's say that they don't even qualify. In fact, I'm not even putting them in this top battle safe. They don't qualify because top 5 at the very least you have to be in. You know why did you disqualify Spurs?
No, I did look, greatness.
Exactly.
Forget sports.
These ones no get greatness at all.
These guys know be sports.
They know it. I removed them too. So top 4. That's what I'm talking about. These ones they don't even count. I've brushed my hand off them. Now let's go on to the next, right?
Yeah.
Manchester City have had a poor season. Accepted, right? They've had a poor season, and you said at the end of March. Right, because this is the end of the month, right? So I'm not even saying at the end of the season if they eventually win the FA Cup, that might upgrade it to a decent season.
Coach can say that
it's a poor season.
Win the FA Cup, it's still be a poor season. Then what now happens?
But for me, if they win the FA Cup, it's a decent season. Because if I'm following according to the poorest of the poor for the last 2 seasons where they were saying we want trophy, that means it's a decent season. And the FA Cup is the oldest cup competition in club football. So yes, it has a lot of weight. That's why you can't really hate Newcastle, because Newcastle have waited over 70 years for the trophy that they had, right?
Or then do boss parade.
So
for that Carabao.
Poor, right? For Manchester City. Accepted.
So Man City. No, Man U dreadful, which is poor basically. Man City poor.
Man City poor. But Man City's poor is softer. Just saying. Keeping it moving, right? Chelsea have had a poor season, because when you consider the fact that they haven't had as many injuries as Manchester City, the Ballon d'Or winner is not playing in your team and he didn't get an injury. You still have the same Kopama that you were shouting about last season. You have everybody that you could possibly have, except even the ones that you don't have are just Speedy Gonzalez on steroids. And you are still not performing. You have Enzo Maresca, and then your team doesn't look like a team that has a game plan half the time when they're playing football. So I would still say they are poor. Maybe not as poor as United and City, but they are poor too. In fact, I think City is even doing better, considering the injury was to more than half of their key players, and then the fact that the rest of their players are not turning up. Yeah. So poor for Chelsea, right? That's 3 poors now out of 5.
Bro.
Arsenal.
I don't like being your student too.
No, I'm just saying. According to the standards, because they said according to the standards that you've set in prior seasons, City's own is everybody can acknowledge that one. It's every other person that wants to argue with me. Now, when it comes to Arsenal, the only thing that makes their season a decent season is the fact that they're still in the Champions League.
Okay.
That's the only thing that makes their season a decent season. Because Newcastle United have won a trophy already this season. Are Arsenal still in the FA Cup?
No, they're out.
They are not in the FA Cup. So it's just the Champions League, because they're out of the title race for the Premier League, right? And we know that they're playing Real Madrid in the Champions League. So it's finished. Anyway, so the only reason why it's still currently a decent season is because they advanced beyond where Liverpool advanced in the Champions League, albeit the fact that they faced drastically less quality opposition. But let's just say, let's give it to them, because it's still the Champions League. So they're just slightly above poor. And here's the thing. The thing is, if they were hitting the standards that they were hitting behind Manchester City last season or 2 seasons ago, in fact 2 seasons ago when they were on top the league, if they hit those points, this would be the season that they will win the league.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding, because Liverpool have not been phenomenal. Arsenal have just dropped points in places where they shouldn't be dropping points. And it's very obvious. Liverpool have just been a more consistent side. That is why I would say Liverpool are having a decent season. And here's why, right? Because for me, the only reason why Liverpool are still even in the title race, or the only reason why Liverpool are comfortably, in quotes, going to win the Premier League, is because the team that is supposed to be going for them head to head, or the teams that are supposed to be going for them head to head, have all been absolutely abysmal. So it's decent. When you look at all the times that Liverpool have come up against pathway strong opposition, not even completely strong, pathway strong opposition against Newcastle United, that is drastically lower than them when it comes to quality, pound for pound, right? Even their youngest players still have more quality. The only player in Newcastle United that is more quality than somebody that Liverpool would field is Alexander Isak. That's the only Newcastle player. But Dambon was dunking on their head, no problem. So Liverpool are having a decent season. Arsenal are having a slightly decent season. They try, but when Liverpool faced Newcastle, they got dumped out. They lost a trophy to Newcastle United. Shout out to Newcastle United, by the way. No disrespect. When they faced a strong team in PSG in the Champions League, what happened? It's finished. Right?
A team that don't concede too many, at least for that first half.
They faced a Nottingham Forest team. Nottingham Forest that was struggling with relegation last season. That anybody should be beating. They got knocked out of the FA Cup, innit? The only reason why I feel like they're still in the title race for this Premier League is because Arsenal are absolute dog dung. That's all.
Nobody got a good.
No, none of them deserve. Because when you look at it, right? Look at the other top teams in Europe, even down to the French league that most people don't even rate. PSG is still holding their head high, right? At the very least, in the Champions League, yeah. You can look at Real Madrid and Barcelona. The only reason why Atletico Madrid was knocked out was because they were facing against Real Madrid, and even then, it was still a shaky. Madrid still had to suffer, right? When you look at you look at Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund are still in the Champions League, right? Inter Milan is still in. These are top teams,
from the Serie A.
From the Serie A. So when you compare any of those teams, which of those teams can you confidently say that any of these 5 teams will face off against and beat?
You guys have made some valid points, and I'm going to the phone lines immediately. And it's beautiful that this conversation has taken us here, because for ratings, 5 teams, 3 different human beings in the studio talking about it, meaning 15 answers. There's only one excellent. From 15, only one excellent. Showing that perhaps this is one of the worst Premier League seasons of all time in that context, because Premier League teams perhaps didn't step up enough. Just maybe. We'll get to the phone lines now to hear from you. This is Game On, brought to you by Femi and the Gang at Nigeria Info. Speaking about the Premier League action, comes back tomorrow, of course. We're going to be here with live commentary for you on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then the coming weekend, we have the Manchester Derby. April 6th, the dates for that. I'll be letting you in on what Femi and the Gang has for you, certainly for that April 6th date. Stay with me to find out. For now, let's get to the phone lines and hear from you. You can dial 0201 277 0993. That's 0201 277 0993. And for our female callers, 0201 465 7190. If you're wondering why we're even having this conversation in the first place, listen to this again if you can. Pep, the boss of Man City.
Of course, we could be nice, arrive the final champion, the FA Cup, and win it. And qualify for the Champions League. But I'm pretty sure still right now happened before that is a big success. But the season has been poor.
Coach of Man City judging his own team, saying the season has been poor. Even if they were to win the FA Cup, it's still a poor season for Man City. So we've been asking ourselves in the studio for the top 5 teams in England as to consistency. Man U, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. If you were to score them, poor, decent, good, or excellent, how would you score them one after the other? Hello, how are you doing? Welcome.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. Oh, good evening.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Good. So, straight to the point, right?
Yeah, just tell us your name first, I beg.
Say?
Just tell us your name first before you go straight to the point, I beg.
My name is Matt.
Nice one.
Yes, so straight to the point, right? I agree with Brownish the most. Except you can't excuse City's season to Rodri's injury and not say the same for Arsenal.
Why?
Because I don't think any team in Europe would play with their top 3 strikers unavailable for about half the season and still be in the Champions League.
But that
at least have a delusional hope of winning the league.
But can I say something, right?
Yeah, sure.
They didn't play with more than half of their strikers out for more than half of the season. For the first 6 months of the season, up until like December, for the first 4 or 5 months of the season, they still had Bukayo Saka available, they had Martinelli available, they had Trossard available, and then they still had Odegaard available as well.
Odegaard was out for 3 months. Don't forget that. Even before Saka's injury, Saka was out since December. Don't get me wrong. No excuses for not signing a striker at the end of the day. No excuses for not strengthening their squad in the transfer window. But guess what? They could still have signed a striker, and the striker could still have been injured.
I agree, but you see, none of these players that you mentioned just won the Ballon d'Or.
Yes, Man City had just one player injured and their season fell apart. Arsenal had at least 3 keys, all the entirety of their front line out since December or December/January. So, yes, poor season for Arsenal, but if you are going to excuse Man City's season for...
But I didn't. I said they had a poor season too now. I even said Arsenal have a decent season.
All right, man.
What do you say?
I even said Arsenal have a decent season.
I think it's a poor season, to be honest, because why? Nobody asked them not to spend and sign a quality striker, knowing the situation they were in. But I'm just saying injuries play a key, and you were very correct. What is it about Liverpool, right? Liverpool are only in the league because Arsenal and Man City who are meant to be competing, have just been off this season for whatever reason. Not because Liverpool have been spectacular or excellent.
Thank you for your call. Thank you so much. Nice to hear from you. I love the back and forth too. Coming through between yourself and Brownish makes so much sense. More of your calls pouring in right now via the phone lines. Diesel is searching and looking at your comments pouring in on Facebook. By the way, we're still streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so keep your comments there. Overdose will be reading those in a bit. Did you see what I did? Overdose will be reading those.
Another angle.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Hamid from Agege.
Welcome, Hamid. This is Game On.
Yeah. You said Liverpool have not been fantastic this season.
So you're a lecturer. We want you to classify these teams. There's poor, there's decent, there's good, there's excellent.
Yeah, there's good, there's excellent.
There's poor and there's decent. Yeah.
I'm referring to the last caller that just called.
I don't want us to drift. Let's focus on the topic. I don't want us to drift.
I know that the last caller is an Arsenal fan. I understand.
Okay.
Liverpool have not been excellent because Arsenal and City are having an abysmal season. Good, but nobody gave Liverpool the
chance. It is good.
The chances of being top of the league at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Everyone were even saying we'll be out of the top 4 because Klopp left and many other teams left. Yes, I know that at the end of the day, squad depth has been our letdown.
I get that. So I want you to land because I want you to score, and then let's go to other callers. Let's not drift. All right. So do you want to score them now? Liverpool season, poor, decent, excellent, or good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Good. Okay.
I will score them good. Yeah.
Good, all right. Thank you for your call. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome.
Chuma.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Brownish agrees to everybody right there.
Good evening,
Is Uche calling from Odile, Chuma.
Welcome, Uche.
Chuma, for me, you know, say this thing, end of the day, now trophy we win in the ending of the season. And we will go take the judge.
Okay.
So, if your team no won any trophy at the end of the season, I will count all of them as a poor one now. It's as Man United now. If you won the Europa League this season now, you have a good season. That's what I want to say.
All right, Uche. Thank you too for speaking to us. Diesel, what's up with you guys on socials?
Yeah, a lot of views. I can say 59 people actually watching right now. Okay, yes, indeed. And I'll go straight to the comments. 5 of them. This one says, wait, it's actually loading. So
okay. Do I play this guy's song for you now? Loading, loading.
No.
Now Brown is gonna know that song, pass.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know why the comments are just taking time to load. Okay, let me.
No, while you're loading that, I'll go to WhatsApp too because there are comments pouring in via that platform. This one says, Chuma, I disagree with Brownish. Liverpool dealt with Newcastle about twice or thrice, as you put it, before losing to them at the final. Liverpool have had a good season, you say. It's just the tired legs that made us lose out of the Champions League and the Carabao Cup finals. Bola from Saboyaba. All right, again, like I did say, let's not get carried away by any other distraction. The question is the top 5 teams in England. How do you rate them? We're not focused on just one team right now, okay? Thank you for your thoughts, man. Good evening, Nigeria Info. Yeah, please. Does you well, Samba from Aurelia. Thank you for your thoughts, but you're not focused. Your second comment. I'll take your first comment that says, Liverpool, excellent season. Arsenal, very, very poor. for now till they win the Champions League. City, too poor. Chelsea and United, useless poorest. Which kind of classification we have? Yeah, Diesel.
Yeah, I'm ready to take the messages now. Ozo Francis Omaga Onamani says, so good to be watching you guys live from Amugunze in Enugu State. Good evening, Femi the Gang. Keep up the good work. Ogunaki Ibrahim Oluwatosi says, good evening, Femi and the Gang. Well done. I enjoy your sports content. Austin Sunday says, I like the way you people always give analysis on Arsenal. Adesi said Arsenal very poor, but when it comes to City, you gave a breakdown of couples of injuries, and you forgot Arsenal started the season without some couple of players. After some time, Arsenal have been struggling without a striker, no winger. Well done, Femi and the anti-Arsenal FC. Okay.
But a very quick question to respond to that. Just before you move on from that, did we say that City had a better season than Arsenal? No. There's one team that you explain. The reason why you explain that a team is having a poor season is when that team has not set a precedent to have a poor season. Have Arsenal done anything different this season from what they did 2 seasons ago or last season? No, they're still second. They're still not winning the Champions League. They've been knocked out of everything else, so they're still not going. They're still going trophyless as it is.
No, but he is also...
But City, on the other hand, for the past 3 or 4 seasons, have either won the Premier League or won a significant trophy. So the explanation has to go, because they're still the defending champions, even if they cannot defend it. So we will still explain why a team that people would traditionally expect to be doing fantastic and not doing fantastic. So we will explain. We don't have to explain why Arsenal are second again, because Arsenal are second again.
All right. He goes on to say, Chelsea FC, you guys in the studio, you rubbished Arsenal and you rate Chelsea decent. Meanwhile, they spend money past Arsenal. Yeah, they are struggling to make top 4, and you're rating them decent. Make we know encounter week.
Who rated them decent? Anyway,
Ikurio Basil Andona says, Femi and the Gang keep winning. Isaac Sunday says, Liverpool good, Arsenal decent, Man City poor, Man United rubbish, Chelsea poor after spending much money. So those are the messages.
Valid.
Thank you so much, Caesar, for that. So you can keep dropping your comments via Facebook, our live stream, or on YouTube. You can watch us through this
Every day is about winning with one play.
You hear that 100%. That one play money waiting for you. Star 347 star 880 star 3 hash. The code you can use to play. Star 347 star 880 star 3 hash. I know it's been a crazy day with the network. We hear there's been a bit of a challenge with network connectivity, so the code could be poor for you. That's why there's the website option to oneplay.ng, so you can play using www.oneplay.ng. That website could come in easier, a route for you to play to potentially be one of our winners to get 40,000 naira each on the show tonight. My name is Chuma. I have Overdose, Brownish, and Adeze in here. We have you out there to be taking more of your comments via all the social media platforms, and of course picking your calls. But right now we need to go in for another quick commercial break. When we return, the focus will be on the under 17 AFCON. Nigeria not in the competition. What's happening to our age grade football for a team who've been under 17 world champions 5 times in the past? We'll go back to those glorious days of the past and try to search for ideas that can give us success that will last. All right, I'll take these comments on WhatsApp just before we go in for the commercial break, and also respond to the lovely message on Facebook. So there are 3 persons in the studio, right? Everybody had their say on this topic. Brownish, for example, gave Chelsea poor. So don't take the comment of one person and then think that there's an agenda against the darling team of yours. You know, everybody had differing opinions here, and that's why we respect your opinion. Your opinion for us is as important as that of us in the studio. So share your own and don't get angry as to what the people in the studio are saying. Share yours and we'll read yours too, okay? Let's go in for that break. We'll be back.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
It's new, it's fresh, it's the H45, the all-new Heineken 45CL. The H45 bottle is designed to fit into your lifestyle. It's the same great taste. Cheers to the new Heineken 45CL. The new Heineken 45CL with the same great refreshing taste, now in a size that fits your style. Drink responsibly, not for sale to persons under 18.
Aisha, why do you have so many teas and sachets of cowbell?
Oh, it's what I plan to share this Ramadan.
My sister, you can start by sharing some with me now.
Oh yeah, take. It's Ramadan after all. In this holy month, share the nourishing goodness of cowbell with friends and family. It contains vitamin B9, Vitarich, and it's so creamy, so good. Ramadan Kareem.
Cowbell of creamy goodness.
Let me ask you a question. What holds you back when you wake up each morning? Is it the uncertainty of how the day will unfold? And as the day goes on, what makes your heart race? Is it the quiet fear that maybe you're not doing enough? And when it's evening, is it the longing for just a little more time? Whatever it is, remember, challenges don't define you, but how you rise to meet them. Staying connected to your dreams, that's how you break free from limits. Get unlimited data plus up to 6-hour battery backup to keep you connected without interruptions on Airtel 4G 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to find out more. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
We are inspired by our roots, boundless. We create our own rhythm, the rhythm of the new Goldberg Black. A symphony of ingredients to savor, dark malts for that rich, dark quality, and aroma that captivates. 6% alcohol to turn up the enjoyment. Refreshing lager with a kick of black. Feel the groove with Goldberg Black. Same rules, new rhythm. Not suitable for persons under 18 years. Drink responsibly.
What can your bank do for you? Meet Jane, 25 years old. She's been having troubles acquiring a loan from her bank.
This is not okay at all. I've been on this queue forever, and you're saying I should fill another form. What's going on?
What can your bank do for you? Meet Frank, 27 years old, held up in traffic and making fruitless transactions.
Mama, I am saved the airtime, even the electricity charges. I don't know why it's so difficult making this payment.
Introducing Safri, a lifestyle digital bank that's designed just for you. With one click, you can make easy and fast payment transactions, pay bills, and even acquire easy loans. Hurry and download the Safri app on your Play Store. Visit safrisafri.com for more information. Safri, borderless banking.
This Easter, bring the whole family and escape to paradise at Zeba Beach Resort. Sun, sand, and unforgettable moments await. Enjoy Easter egg hunts, beach games, family activities, and movies under the stars. Plus delicious feasts and endless seaside fun. Call 0704 7300 013 or visit www.zebabeachresort.com. Zeba Beach Resort, where every holiday feels like paradise.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Iboku abi no boku. Iboku abi no boku. Things cost. But you don't check for boku. Quality, it dey. Prices way better pass inside market nko, it dey. So whether na groceries or abi na food items, check boku first.
Oya, alele go boku mats now. Highest na 5 minutes waka. Make yourself cruise on this boku enjoyment. For better weekly deals, follow at boku mats. Join o.
Iboku abi no boku. Iboku.
Got the vibe? We got the flavor. That zesty kick of lemon, the tropical burst of pineapple. That's right, we got the ginger sauce.
Legend with a twist.
Introducing Legend Twist, a stout with a twist of flavors. Smooth, bold, with a refreshing taste in every sip. So from one legend to another, now with a twist. Enjoy.
Introducing Legend Twist flavored stout. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly. Legend with a twist.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development and the care they need with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics to help your child's digestion and development, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
My son, help me check this phone. I don't know wetin Junior press. He know they work again.
Make I see. Ah, mommy.
Wetin happen?
They don't block your line now.
Nobody like to chop blocking, no. So, if they don't block you unto say you not link your NIN to your Airtel line, run kitty go any Airtel shop with your NIN to unblock your line today.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Gold. Everyone wants it. That liquid gold. From the beer worthy of the name. Brewed for those who recognize true quality. From the first sip to the last, enjoyment flows. Goldberg, the gold standard.
Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
During this blessed month of Ramadan, we begin with faith and the spirit of giving.
Families and neighbors come together by sharing delicious meals. From jollof rice to tomato stew, from moi moi to porridge beans, every meal is specially prepared and flavorful with Onga seasoning cubes. Together, we share not just food, but love with those who need it most.
Celebrate the blessings of this holy month with Onga seasoning cubes. Onga, for great taste and aroma.
Mr. As my guy don't win, me say don't ginger. No dollar. We did jolly just come welcome offer. Download BetKing app and register today using the promo code FreeBets to enjoy your 100 Naira instant sign-up bonus and other exciting offers. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18 years. Play responsibly.
Attention travelers, pack your bags. ValueJet now flies from Lagos to Owerri and Owerri to Lagos twice a week. Enjoy a great mix of modern convenience, affordable fares, and hassle-free travel on every flight. Whatever your reason for travel, ValueJet gets you there in style and comfort. To book your flights, visit our website at www.flyvaluejet.com or download our mobile app on Google Play Store or App Store.
ValueJet, wings for everyone.
Are you ready to elevate your drinking experience? Introducing Delta Force Blue Premium Whiskey. The whiskey is so smooth, it will make you levitate and groove. When the party is in full swing, let Delta Force Whiskey take swing, soaring high with the whiskey so fly. Delta Force Blue Premium Whiskey is here to elevate your spirits. Whiskey wings, soaring high with every sip. We touch the sky. Raise your glass. Let smoothness soar high with Delta Force Blue Whiskey. Experience the smoothness and sophistication of Delta Force Blue Premium Whiskey. Delta Force Blue Premium Whiskey is distributed nationwide and available at your nearest liquor store. Elevate your taste, elevate your night. Delta Force Blue Premium Whiskey, where every sip is an adventure. Delta Force Blue Premium Whiskey. Elevate to excellence.
Not to be sold to persons under the age of 18.
Did you know that micro, small, and medium enterprises account for 96% of Nigeria's businesses and contribute to about half of the country's GDP? They also provide around 84% of all employment in the country. Want to know more? Join us on Board Street Drive, our new business show, 2:30 p.m. Mondays on Nigeria Info 99.3 FM. Let's talk.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info.
on Nigeria Info Daily Winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's game on.
Feel the magic in the air. Feel the magic in the air.
We are still here to take away your sadness and fill your heart with gladness, because in-house there's no madness. We are Femi and the Gang, and this is Nigeria. And welcome back from the commercial break. So I'll have a wrap on our earlier discussion around rating the top 5 teams in England. Poor, decent, good, excellent. Because there are so many messages on WhatsApp. I'll take as many as we can before we switch in the coming minutes to the Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations that is up and running without Nigeria's Golden Eaglets. What have we done wrong to get this poor that we cannot even qualify for an African Under-17 competition for a Nigerian team that have been world champions 5 times in the past? There's also the talk about the Spanish La Liga and the Italian Serie A. We're still having a 3-horse race in those respective leagues after what we saw over the weekend. And that one play money part is important for me too. We want to share that with you, okay? 40k each for winners. *347 *880 *3 hash, the code you can use to play. That's *347 *880 *3 hash. Oh, there's always the website. I did mention a few minutes back that the code has had a bit of a challenge today, courtesy of network issues. So I think the website may be your best bet. Just log on to the website if you can, www.oneplay.ng. You don't have to spell the one, it's just like number one. So number one, well, you don't say number one, just one. And then play.ng. It's going to cost you only 500 naira for each entry of yours. And when you play, I beg, be close to your phone, because that call to our winners will be coming through. And I'm hoping that you'll be one of those lucky persons to get money from us today. Well, speaking about money, we have money for you. We did come Bagada. I did tell you, they bring cash come to you for that one. Get ready for an exciting time with Femi and the Gang on Sunday, April 6th, as we bring our all-star train to Bagada to cover the Manchester Derby. We'll be live at Shuffles by Cocoon, 6 Oguntono Street. Bagada Phase 1, it's more like 6 Oguntono Crescent. Bagada Phase 1, Lagos. And that's on Sunday, April 6th from 4 p.m. as we'll be there to have fun with you during the Manchester United versus Manchester City game. What are we coming with? Well, there will be live commentary at the venue from Femi and the Gang, plus exciting games that will come with rewards, cash prizes, and drinks to be won by you. Yeah, so don't miss out on the fun. See you on Sunday, April 6th from 4 p.m. at Shuffles by Cocoon, 6 Oguntono Crescent, Bagada Phase 1. It's live football just the way you like it, courtesy of Femi and the Gang again. I'm excited because I know it's going to be fun meeting you on Sunday. I'll tell you one important thing, all right? Ensure that you dress well and smell nice, because it's a classy place. And you sure love to look classy in a place like that too. I'll tell you even more about that outing of us in the minutes to come. For now, to WhatsApp messages, so many. And then we delve to the Golden Eaglets. Good evening, Femi and the Gang. My darling Chelsea poor. Knocked out of the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and couldn't keep clean sheets, struggling with the top four, you say. Arsenal fair, Man City poor, Liverpool fair, Manchester United poor. I'm Yemi from Igondo. Thank you, Yemi, for that. Good evening, Femi and the gang. Willie's from Abulegba. It's very surprising the way you guys analyze football at times. Okay, so I'm going to go to your comments now because that's what matters for me right now and not what we have said in the studio. You have the power to share your thoughts. So these are your thoughts, your rating. Liverpool, good. Arsenal, good. Man City, poor. Chelsea, poor. Manchester United, extremely poor, you say. Wow, so you believe Liverpool and Arsenal have had a good season? All right, thank you for your thoughts, man. This from a Real Madrid fan. Noble from Ikorodu says, good evening, Chuma, Brownish, Adeze Overdose in the studio. Rate Liverpool decent. Rate Arsenal as Bukayo Saka FC. Come on, man. That's not the rating we have for you. Okay? I know you're trying to do banter, but add down Biko. Thank you. Then for City, I'll rate them poor. And I'll rate Chelsea very poor based on the number of players they bought. Then for Manchester United, terrible as usual. So it's poor to you for Manchester United from you. My rating, Liverpool, excellent. Arsenal, good. Chelsea, decent. Man City, poor. Manchester United, very poor. My submission, that's from Engineer Paul. Engineer Paul, thanks for that. I'll take just one more for now. Good evening, Femi and the gang. You guys in the studio. Good evening to you guys in the studio, you say. For me, Liverpool and Arsenal have had a good season, while Chelsea, my team, Manchester United and Man City are having a poor season. My name is Emmanuel. Emmanuel, thanks so much. Oh boy, come and explain to you. Bro, just quickly, I beg.
Just quickly, I just want to say, I feel like the only people who actually would rate any of these 5 teams anything higher than decent are people who are actually Premier League fans, and maybe it's just loyalty to the league. But I feel like if you're actually looking at it holistically, even as somebody who is a fan of the league, you know that the quality in the league this season hasn't been up to the quality in the league in past seasons. In fact, I do feel like if there was a team that had the form, who was third last season?
So we had Man City champions, Arsenal second.
I think it was
Chelsea. No?
Was it Chelsea?
No,
it was.
That's why they qualified for the Conference League.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa.
I think it might have been Liverpool.
No. Liverpool were fourth, weren't they?
No, it was Aston Villa who were fourth. Right?
Liverpool finished third now.
Liverpool were third.
And City now.
Case in point, right? If any team, the team now, if Arsenal had kept their form from last season or their form from 2 seasons ago, they would have won the Premier League this season easily. In fact, they would have already won the Premier League by now. I just feel like the drop off in quality.
For no year word though, by now.
They would have already won. I'm just saying if they were, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to Arsenal. I just feel like the quality in the Premier League this season really tanked. In the same way that the quality in La Liga last season was really, really bad. Right? We saw that Barcelona were falling off. Athletic Bilbao were nothing to write home about. Girona were top of the league for a long time. Yeah. People realize that, La Liga is struggling. Right? But this season, look at what's going on in La Liga. I feel like sometimes you just have to be real about what you're seeing.
All right. While you were being real, your guys being real to you by your right-hand side of Brownish. Okay, so that's it for now. As to that conversation, let's switch and come back to the African continent right now.
It's a delight. Welcome to the Soccer City Stadium in Johannesburg, the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations final. It's Nigeria against Burkina Faso.
So when you hear that sound, you know that you have to think about the Confederation of African Football, CAF, the body in charge of football on the African continent, and they have started another tournament. This one is the CAF Under 17 Nations Cup, so it's called the Under 17 AFCON. All right, and the competition is up and running, but there's no Nigeria's Golden Eaglets in the competition that has 16 teams as part of it. Now, teams will come through from this to go on to represent Africa in the FIFA Under 17 World Cup. Okay? And we're thinking to ourselves, how did things get this bad that Nigeria cannot even qualify for an African under 17 competition. It's not even about winning it now, even qualifying. 54 nations or 55 under CAF's umbrella, 16 for this tournament. Nigeria cannot be part of the 16. Where did we get you wrong, Adeze?
Honestly, this conversation, like, it can take entire 3 hours to really look at and talk about. The FIFA under 17 competition started back in 1977, and then 1985 Nigeria started the exploits. 93 winning the tournament all the way to 2015. And 2015 in Chile was the last time Nigeria won that competition, and it's 10 good years. 10 years. And well, I think that what is happening to Nigeria's age grade level is what we saw coming. It didn't just happen overnight. It just, the signs were there. It started to show the lack of foundation, the lack of structure we have across the country to spot. Let me use the word identify. 3 keywords. Identify, nurture, and expose these talents. The structure is not there. We have a lot of academies in Nigeria, but how many of them are out there to help the nation really bring out talents? These are questions. These academies are there for pure business. And when is even time to start the competition itself, that is the age grade level under 17, maybe when it's time for FIFA or this AFCON, they start paying powers that be, so that their own candidates will go there and represent whether they are good or not. As soon as you make that appearance in the FIFA under 17 or even CAF tournament, agents will somehow see you. So the academies are there for business, and they have to oil the palms of the powers that be. That's on one side. Secondly, our scouting system is so poor. Even if we lack the structure, let's go to the manual. Structure means automatic. Structure means basic, systematic, like what we have in European countries. Maybe that is a top order, but let's do manual. Manual is what discovered Victor Osimhen that we're talking about. The convergence of talent from everywhere, and most times they do it in Abuja. There's a local talent somewhere in maybe one village in Cross River, maybe somewhere in Udukpani. Maybe his parents cannot afford to pay his transport from Calabar to Abuja to be part of that, because it's physical, it's not Zoom, it's football.
The screening.
Now, we have refused to put down a structure that can send different coaches. Maybe people in South come out to Port Harcourt. People in Southeast go to Enugu. People in the Northwest go to so and so Abuja. Then people in the Southwest can go to Ogun State, leave Lagos.
Stay with me, Adeze. You tell me more. Pardon me. You're going to tell me more over those who tell us more as well too. But let's get to a man who was part of a Nigerian team that had a golden era. All right, World Champions 2013, World Champions 2015, and that's like Adeze mentioned at the start of our conversation. The last time that we got success at the FIFA Under 17 World Cup, and this is 10 years ago. We have joining us on the show right now, Morakinyo Abudurin. I love to call him Morax, my big bro, media officer of the Under 17 team when Nigeria conquered the world in 2013 and 2015, and he writes for the Nation newspaper these days. Morax, thank you so much for joining us on Nigeria Info.
Good evening, Chuma. It's nice speaking to you after a long while.
Yeah, it's always an honor, really, and a pleasure for me having you have a conversation with your massive wealth of experience. Morax, let's just take our minds back to those days in Calabar. When I first met you in 2012, I think. The team at that time were camping in Calabar for about 6 months or something like that before you went for that 2013 World Cup that Nigeria won. So we now have an Under 17 AFCON on our continent where 16 teams are part of it, and Nigeria cannot even qualify. I'd love to find out from you, first of all, what were the things that were done right in 2013 and 2015 that made us so successful at Under 17 level?
To start with, the AFCON Under 17 is taking place right now, and Nigeria is not there. So such a shame, if I can put it that way, because going back to history of this tournament, Nigeria is one of the most successful teams at this level, including Cameroon, Gambia, Ghana, Mali, who has won this tournament twice on 2 occasions. But here we are today. Nigeria is not at this tournament, which speaks so much about the level of development of our football. You know, but going back in those years, you saw what we went through in Calabar in terms of preparation. And I want to first of all give kudos to the NFF for having that foresight in ensuring that we had a long time campaign in Calabar. And kudos to Cross River State government, who was ready and willing to bear all the cost of hosting the team. Because camping a team for such a long period is not an easy thing. But the Cross River State government under Senator Lia Imoke took it upon itself, and they did wonders with the team. And that you could see when you have at that level, when you have such a long-term planning, and the coaches were able to tinker with the players so selected. You always get that kind of result we got in 2013, which is one of the factors that help us was that long campaign in Calabar, which nobody can really fault because that went a long way in preparing the team for the tournament. Both when we went to the AFCON in Morocco, though we couldn't win the tournament in Morocco, we came second, but we still went back to Calabar to replan, to rejig the team. The coaches went back to Calabar to rejig the team, and before we got to the World Cup, the team was ready to face the world.
And that 2013 team had Iheanacho as part of the setup, right? I still do have a picture of Kelechi as at that time and how young he looked, really. You know, when we came in for the one-game campaign with Amonike and Manikaba, which is brilliant. But this is what I want to ask you. There's been the analysis too that perhaps we don't have as good or as many good talents as to footballers now who are under 17 as we had then. You know, are you saying that the only magic was the fact that you guys camped together? I'm feeling that there was also the presence of brilliant players. That's why, you know, these players went to the competition and were amongst the best players in the tournament itself and are still relevant in football conversations as at today, 12 years after.
I don't want to believe that we don't have such talents again. If you look at the history of the under-17, right from inception in 1985, thereabouts, Nigeria has always been producing talents at this level. So, but the football as it is now is not what you used to have in the past. Now, every other country is ready. You know, before you could see, or the West African team can easily overrun any other team in the competition. You know, but look at what we have today. The game against Morocco and Uganda. Morocco beating Uganda 5-0. Who would have expected that? And Cameroon, Burkina Faso beating Cameroon. Who would have thought that maybe in years past? But every country is not planning. And if you go to some of these other countries, they have all this structure in place. Long-term preparation. You know, we are at this level. If we don't plan well, and if we don't have access to those players, the younger ones, they have so much distraction these days. But the talents, I always believe we still have those talents. But the time, look at the tournament they went to in Ghana that they couldn't get the ticket.
Yes.
How many weeks? I think barely a month it took Coach Wano to put that team together. You know, for them to even achieve the level of success they had in at that qualifier I still give him kudos, because there was no time for him to even put anything into the players in terms of what he expected them to play, unlike what he had in 2013, when when the same set of players eat together, sleep together, you know, for that long period. You know, they are not super egos that you can couple them together in another 2, 3, 4 days and say, let them go and play. These boys need to be trained and to really put things on their head so that they can be able to do things. So I don't want to believe we still have the talent, but we don't have the time to groom these talents for them to perform so well. Then, even as far back as 85, 87, thereabouts,
yes,
the bulk of the players we are using them were players from the youth front. And you know, at that time, players at that level, they have gone to several international competitions, Dana Cup, Gotia Cup, Norwegian Cup, and all that. But even at now, we don't have such a luxury of our players going out.
Idea,
So they have already been exposed at that level. But this time, you need to put these players together. Even when you have discovered this talent.
All right.
I don't want to believe that we don't have
stay with me, please, Morak. Just stay with me. We have a commercial break. When we return from that commercial break, we'll hear more from you. My colleagues over Doza, Daisy, Brownish, also in the studio. I'm sure they'll love to ask you 1 or 2 questions. Let's just go for that break now. This is Nigeria Info.
We are inspired by our roots, boundless. We create our own rhythm, the rhythm of the new Goldberg Black. A symphony of ingredients to savor, dark malts for that rich, dark quality, and aroma that captivates. 6% alcohol to turn up the enjoyment. Refreshing lager with a kick of black. Feel the groove with Goldberg Black. Same rules, new rhythm. Not suitable for persons under 18 years. Drink responsibly.
Mama, I like him. It seems say you like him. I tell you, say he no good for you, but you see they talk, say you like him. My pikin. You know, see I go always get your back, but you got shine your eye well, take carry better thing. Like the new Golden Penny soya and vegetable oil where they for brand new packaging.
The new Golden Penny soya oil contains vitamins A, D, and E with omega-3 and 6 and 0 trans fat. They are available for different sizes. Buy your own for retail store where they near you. Golden Penny oil, eat well, live well.
If person ask you, say, what's in the game where they totally you pass, you go tell them, say, now, better know all the time. You go tell yourself, make you follow, join for the Ogbonge betting options, fast cash out, missions where they engage you, and get welcome bonus with it reach 200,000 naira. Better know, the game don't start. Make you the bet responsibly. Now, only for people who don't pass 18 years. Better know, now, proud partner of Aston Villa.
It's new, it's fresh, it's the H45, the all-new Heineken 45CL. The H45 bottle is designed to fit into your lifestyle. It's the same great taste. Cheers to the new Heineken 45CL. The new Heineken 45CL with the same great refreshing taste, now in a size that fits your style. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18.
Anything I want. Mama, they don't dash me 20,000 naira woof.
My pikin, who they dash 20,000 naira for this kind time?
That they dash everybody will get smart cash account 20,000 naira.
You mean them go dash me 20,000 naira a woof too?
Yes, so mama. That they dash all old and new smart cash users 20,000 naira a woof.
Oh yeah, tell your yard people make them dial *939# or download Smart Cash app to open their own account. Make themselves enjoy 20k a woof. Every time when you buy airtime or pay bills with Smart Cash, you go chop inside your 20k. Terms and conditions they shall.
I don't see my own a woof.
Smart Cash, powered by Airtel.
Got the vibe? We got the flavor. That zesty kick of lemon, the tropical burst of pineapple. That's right, we got the ginger sauce.
Legend with a twist.
Introducing Legend Twist, a stout with a twist of flavors. Smooth, bold, with a refreshing taste in every sip. So from one legend to another, now with a twist. Enjoy.
Introducing Legend Twist Flavored Stout. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Legend with a twist.
During this blessed month of Ramadan, we begin with faith and the spirit of giving.
Families and neighbors come together by sharing delicious meals. From jollof rice to tomato stew, from moi moi to porridge beans, every meal is specially prepared and flavorful with Onga seasoning cubes. Together, we share not just food, but love with those who need it most.
Celebrate the blessings of this holy month with Onga seasoning cubes. Onga, for great taste and aroma.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Gold. Everyone wants it. That liquid gold. From the beer worthy of the name. Brewed for those who recognize true quality. From the first sip to the last, enjoyment flows.
It's game on.
Chuma, I have over those days in the studio. We have you to see more of your comments pouring in, of course, via social media. We'll get to those. Just before the commercial break, we're speaking about Nigeria's golden eaglets. How golden are they these days, knowing that there is an under-17 AFCON without Nigeria? We could not qualify for the competition. For a country that has been world champions 5 times in the past, we are the most successful nation in the history of the under-17 World Cup, alongside Brazil. We've won the title 5 times in our respective rights. So, to solve problems, sometimes you have to go back to the good old days. What were you doing right during the good old days, in quote, that we can bring back to the future in our quest to achieve success again? So we have the pleasure of joining us, the man who was media officer for that golden eaglets generation that won the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in 2013 and also 2015. Morakinyo Abodori, who also writes for the Nation newspaper. Morax, welcome back and thank you for your patience.
Yes, my pleasure, Chuma. Yeah.
I love to tell people that patience brings good luck with or without Jonathan. You know, so
wow.
Patient with us. Okay. So my colleagues are in here too, and I'm sure they'll have 1 or 2 questions for you potentially. I just want to ask you one more question, and that's of your thoughts that camping the players together helps, because you made a very important point. This is not the Super Eagles level. These are young stars who are just getting into the groove. So camping them together for a long time, like you did in Calabar in 2013 and then 2015 too, is a huge plus. But I'm thinking to myself, that Calabar thing, it wasn't NFF money. It was a state governor who said, oh, I want to support you guys. And you guys were in one prestigious hotel that year in a place called Parliamentary Extension in Calabar. And you were there for 6 months. Now, state government, they pay for that money. It go hard for NFF to get that kind of money they pay for now. So if we want to follow that yardstick, are we now saying that there has to be maybe the private sector or state governor stepping up to say, Golden Eagles, come, we want to camp you? And if we don't have anything like that, then what happens? Is it that there's no hope for us? Yeah.
No. Apart from what the NFF will see the work of the team.
Okay.
In terms of other logistics, what the Conservative government provided them was the accommodation and where we train and all that. Every other welfare of the team was taken care of by the NFF, led by Alhaji Aminu Megiri.
Yeah.
And the second time in 2015 by the 2015 team was an offshoot of Alhaji Megiri too. Mr. Amaju Mervin Pinnick inherited the under-17 team when he took over as the president of the NFF. So the team was already in place before he became the president. So he just took it over from where Alhaji Megiri stopped. So, but be that as it may, because of the cost, the cost is much.
Yeah.
So that is why each time I talk about the under-17, my mind always go back to Calabar and what the Rivers State government did at that time was incredible. Because when you have a team 6-7 months at this stretch, just imagine the kind of budget. We are not talking about just 23 players. Sometimes we have up to 30-40 players in camp at some point because of the peculiar nature of the under-17 set, testing of the player, the MRI, addition and subtraction here and there. So it's not just 23 players. Sometimes we have up to 40, 45 players in camp sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, so my colleagues, the floor is open. Morax is listening.
Yeah, Morax, Overdose here. How you doing? Long time.
long time, my brother.
Yes, how's everything?
I'm fine, I'm good.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I'm well. I just wanted to find out, most times, when we talk about the under-17, the mindset is, if we don't, win, it's a setback. I think we have this mentality of always winning. And I don't know, do you feel that it has come back to haunt us? Because under-17,
is supposed to be developmental, whether or not they get to the final. But we have this attitude of, oh, the team should go to the final. Oh, the team should win. There's always pressure on the coaches. I remember Nduka Ogbade, who was part of the team at some point, told me that, Nigerians are always, looking to see that even at under 17, which is supposed to be developmental, beg your pardon, the team, there's so much pressure put on the coach and the players to actually win it. Do you think it has finally come back to haunt us? And what do you prescribe under 17? Is it a must that we win, or should we just take it step by step? Even though the players, don't get to maybe the semi-final or the final, at least we should have a very good part of the team transition to the Flying Eagles, and then from the Flying Eagles to the under 23, and then the Super Eagles.
You said it all. At this level, it should be developmental. But at the same time, some other people will say, why do you have a trophy to be competed for when you don't want them to win? So the pressure is on the coaches for them to win. But for anybody who has passed through that process, and given the fact that you want players to transit from that level to the other level. Look at the bulk of the Super Eagles players that we have, except the ones that they brought in from outside. Those who are not really born here from outside. Yeah. The bulk of the players in the present Super Eagles set passed through the under 17 team.
True.
Chuma knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The bulk of them. In fact, if we want to keep these ones aside and raise another set of Nigerian players who will be part of the Super Eagles, there will be players from that 2013 up to 2015 and to this table level 2017 set. The 2017 set didn't win anything. That Boniface came through from that set. Peter Boniface came through from that set. He was part of us at one point.
Nice.
I think MRI and all that, pushed him out of the team in 2017. So he was part of that process. So it's not all about winning. But who are the players that we have been able to raise? And unfortunately, in this part of of Africa or Africa generally, once a team doesn't win, nobody wants to reckon with that set, which is quite unfortunate. So, but it's that left for the FA to ensure that players from that level at under 17 level, once they've established that this one is good enough, you take it to the next level, which is the under 20. And there it goes to under 23. Then to Super Eagles. But the problem is that we don't do all those follow-up, which is which is not good enough. But if you have, you leave a coach for a reasonable amount of time, you'll be able to see how he can, particularly for now under 17, maybe he said like a coach has worked with a 2 or 3 set, for instance. You can move that coach to under 20 level. He already has put a kind of philosophy around this team, or around this player. So by the time they get to under 20 level, they've already imbibed that philosophy of this particular coach. But in a situation whereby a coach fails and you throw the coach away, you bring in another coach, it doesn't help at that level. You need a coach to stay that long, for a period of time. 2013, 2015, Coach Amunike, who won in 2015, was part of 2013 set.
Yes.
So Coach Amunike, Ugarte was just given just a chance. His team didn't qualify. Twice. His team didn't qualify. They went to the World Cup once, and they came back thereafter. They couldn't qualify for the next one. You brought him back, Coach Manu. Coach Manu didn't. He had he tinkered with that team for less than 1 month before they went to Ghana. So, like I said, if you don't expose this team, if they don't trade them well, there's no way they are going to get results. Particularly, most of these West African countries, if you go to places like Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, they invest heavily at this level because they know that, once they can get it right at this level, the progression to the other level, will be smooth. So, but we need to work more on how we get these players and how we transit them to the next level.
All right. Makes so much sense, really.
I was going to ask a question. Morax, good evening. Brownish here. I was going to ask a question about just basically what you would expect in terms of, you've said other countries, the Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, they invest a lot in developmental football, under 17s, under 23s. I was going to ask, what are some of the ways that you would expect the FA to invest in? Is it regular camps where they can, learn to have synergy? Is it just having maybe an under 17 league that basically mirrors the MPFL? What would you like for them to be able to do, aside just that general concept of invest, put more money inside them?
I like what the MPFL was trying to do. I think having a youth team, like a feeder team to the respective senior teams. But you and I know that even to run the MPFL team is not as easy as ABC. So you have to give them the burden of racing on another set of 17 teams. Sometimes it might not work well. We might be trying to ape what is happening in Europe, whereby they have youth leagues.
Yes.
It might not be that easy here. But we've already had a try and tested route before, for these coaches to scout at players. Look at that was how we got as a success. Before, NFF used to have a very good under 15, under 13 team.
Yeah.
They are trying to reinvent now with the baby Eagles, So with programs like that, you can easily get a lot of talent that you can work with. And if you look at the logistics, like somebody said the other time, look, how do you get all the players to go to Abuja for screening? This might be difficult now in view of what we have now.
Yeah, how expensive transportation is.
And all that. So maybe you create a regional tournament for coaches to go, for national team coaches to go and see where they can get some of these talents from such tournaments. I think if you create such a platform for coaches to go around the country, or you have coaches at regional geopolitical zones that can get talent that you can bring into to the national level, it will always work well for the national team on the long run.
Fantastic stuff. Really, always insightful having a conversation with you, Morax, as I love to call you, my big bro, Morakinyo Abodori, a writer for the Nation newspaper, of course, an astute journalist of for several decades, and a man who was media officer for the most successful generation of Nigeria's under-17 national team, world champions in 2013 and also world champions in 2015, in addition to our successes in 1993, 1985 and 2007. Morax, thank you so much for your time with us on Nigeria Info tonight.
It's my pleasure, Chuma, and thanks for all the good things you did for us in Calabar too. You are part of the success story of the team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir,
for having me on the program.
Thank you. God bless you. All right.
You too.
Yeah, so it's still the Game On show with Femi and the Gang on Nigeria Info. Daisy was saying something before Morax joined us, and Diesel and Brownish, we can just have a summation of conversation to starting with Daisy.
Yeah, I stopped where we stopped the scouting process, which is making it easier for
to pick these talents regionally, like
poor as in people that are not able to afford the means to go to Abuja, because most times they want to take it to Abuja from all of this distance. It doesn't really help, and not just the transportation as well. Just have that regional that will widen the network. The more you have it in the regional, the more most people want to identify. And these talents are in the village, and the village probably doing what's this thing? Some of them could be fishing. Some of them could be doing dredging. That's the word I'm looking for. Environmental language. They could be dredging somewhere in one big river in some of these rural areas, and they just want to know that somebody wants to pick them up. So I mentioned 3 keywords: identifying, nurturing, and exposure. That's what I mentioned. And let's move over to one area that somehow stopped in 2020. Now, we used to give our under 17 age grade level, they were entitled to allowances that ranges from maybe $1,000 back in the day before COVID happened to $5,000. And when they go for this tournament, when they qualify for this tournament, you see well-meaning Nigerians saying, if you get to so and so stage of this competition, they'll place a lot of money on the table. choose, is up to you. And you see, and most of them, this under 17, remember, is a miss out of poverty. We have to accept. Yes, somebody will tell me, are they in Europe then they give money? No, they don't really give money, but our own climate is different. Football is a miss out of poverty for a lot of people. It's not like in Europe where some people, their father is already well-to-do. They just send them to academy and use connection to put them there. For Nigeria, football is a miss out of poverty. Where was Victor Osimhen? He was selling pure water in the streets of Lagos. So NFF under Pinnick cut off that motivation, woke up one morning and told us that the focus should be on the Super Eagles and the Super Falcons. That the underage grade level people don't deserve money. And I remember that somehow, whether we like it or not. And when somebody promises you $1, when you get to the pitch, you go fight. You will die there. So I'm thinking it's part of the reason why we don't, even when we do qualify, we don't really do well. And let me come back to our coaches, which is the main one now.
Yeah.
The recycling of our coaches. From Ladamboso to Amo to Paul Aigbogun to Manu Garba to Ndoka Ogbade. When they don't do well, after some years, we go and pick them back again. At some point, one of the coaches was driving taxi in the abroad. And then somebody just told him, you know what, you need to come closer. Just look for a job, maybe for like 6 months. Take that job. When you take the job, there's an opening that could come in under 17. You will have a shot because they need to see you do something. So you see, because we have failed to give the right people the job to hone this talent and take them to tournament where they. In fact, the problem is that we are not even qualifying for this tournament, let alone getting to any stage. So what has stalled is the scouting, the discovery of this talent, poor coaches to package them and give them. Academies full everywhere, but none of them have the right ingredients to, nurture this talent. We know what to do, and motivation is key, whether we like it or not. A 15 years old, 16 years old could be the breadwinner. I remember the one that was called back in 2019, I think Samson Tijani. His dad was a security man. Eventually, he did get the call up. He got some money, rented an apartment for his family. Their life changed. We need to bring back that small money we usually give these boys because Nigeria is already hard. So we could go on and on. So many factors, but I think we need to really look at the ones that have made our football to stall. And again, this penchant of going to beg Nigerians to come and play for our football, to come and join the Super Eagles, also makes us not to look at what we have. Because normally, the age grade level is to eventually produce superstars in the future, which is the Super Eagles. Under Amaju Pini, we started begging foreigners in quote. That's what I call them. Yes, they have Nigerians, but we started begging them to come and play our football. That means now we somehow turned a blind eye to talent that will come through under 17 and under 20 and under 23.
That conveyor belt really lost in the process. And Diesel, yeah,
another thing that really affects our age grade competition is age falsification. I mean, Marax talked about MRI, but before then, you could see, even when we won, it was also a problem. I remember in 2007, under the late Yemi Teller, when we won the World Cup, I mean, you could look at Dele Ajiboye and tell that this man wasn't 17 years old. Macaulay Chris Santos as well. I remember he emerged as a top player alongside Tony Cruz. Tony Cruz just retired not too long ago. Macaulay Chris Santos, I can't even remember the last time he kicked a ball. You see, that's the problem. We always falsify ages so that we can put these players in, and then these players go on to actually not enjoy a favorable career, because at the end of the day, a man who is 28, 29, 30 is playing for under 17 and you want him to excel in his career. I think that also is a problem. We need to get genuine 17-year-olds. I remember Kabira Kinshala was part of that squad. Nobody is hearing about him today. Aruna Lukman was also part of that squad. Nobody is hearing about Aruna Lukman. Injuries here and there. You begin to wonder when we'll actually be honest with ourselves. I think that also is a major factor. And then too much expectation on these players. I think that's also what is killing them. So if we can get rid of that, I believe that even if we don't go far, people will see under 17 players and say, no, this guy is under 17. Because whether you like it or not, people will look at you and say, no, this guy is truly under 17. But when they see an under 17 man that is shaved and playing football like he's in his mid-20s or late 20s, you definitely will know this isn't under 17. And I think that's a major problem with our youth football.
Well, I was going to basically say that, first things first, I think that the key to the answer to this entire question is just one thing: organization, right? You see what we cannot do with the Super Eagles and what we cannot do with the MPFL. We can attempt to the under 17s. We can attempt to the under 23s. And I've been saying this thing for a long time, right? Have two simultaneous programs. We have enough money. We're an oil producing country, for God's sake. We have enough money, right? If we had two simultaneous programs, one is for the production of a top class coach, right? Top class coach, somebody that goes to Europe, studies with FIFA and UEFA, does internships, and it doesn't have to be one person. It doesn't even have to be a man. It could be a mixture of men and women who are sponsored to go and study in Europe with FIFA and UEFA, and then after that they do internships with European countries for big tournament years, and they do internships with African countries for big tournament years as well. Then they now come back, and a dedicated team of a mixture of both European and African coaches and officials who vet their ideas and their plans for what the team should be like, right? And then you keep the majority of them, the ones that seem like the most talented, right? You keep them on a stipend for a while and then cycle through them over a 6 to 8 year period on the under 17s, right? And on the second side, you're building, in quotes, an under 17 version of the MPFL, where the where the owners and the sponsors of those teams, they have full autonomy of what they do with those teams, which means that they pay the players and then they run the league itself, right? In the same way that, sponsors, while the owners basically come together, but the FA oversees everything, so there's obviously no abuse of rights and all of that, but they effectively run the league in such a way that they have, they get money if they can secure advertising rights, if they can secure TV rights. Let all of that be able to happen. Sign off on it. Do it 5-year period for that. Let the under 17 team start, league start running itself after that 5-year period, and then those coaches get to pick players from those under 17 teams that have now started running themselves for all these tournaments. We can literally have tournaments, and then the coach that effectively wins those tournaments is the one that becomes the coach of the under 17s. Carry him and let that coach, him or her, let them lead the under 17 team that they coached, or just the general under 17 team, to 1 or 2 tournaments. See how they do. Reevaluate. That's how things are done in Sena Climbs. You learn by doing. You don't just learn by strategizing. You don't learn by saying, oh, maybe we will get one person now that will be an Osimhen eventually, and then he will show himself in under 17, and then maybe he will have 1 or 2 good seasons in Europe before they send him away to Saudi Pro League or something. If we don't turn football into a money making venture, into a poverty alleviation scheme, like the way music is, it's going to be very difficult. Even the people that you're scouting, right? What incentive do they have to come and play for the under 17s? They're not benefiting anything from it.
That money part too, really, which you mentioned. By the way, the under 17 competition, Brownish Adese and Overdose has seen Morocco win by 5-0 against Uganda in their opening fixture. We'll have our eyes on that tournament and bring you up to speed, but you just have to accept the reality now. There's no Nigeria in that. I'm sure that'll take away a bit of your passion for the under 17 AFCON. Your comments are pouring in via social media. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Still to come on the show tonight, by the way, we'll touch on the top leagues in Europe, look at the results of those matches in Germany, in Italy, and in Spain, and then ask ourselves, is it a 3-horse race, or are we now down to a 2-horse race in the Italian Serie A and the Spanish La Liga? Also, One Play Money, the website, can be the best option for you now that the network is not allowing the code to be that nice to you. So you can use the website oneplay.ng to play. That's www.oneplay.ng. It's going to cost you only 500 naira for each entry of yours, and I'll be calling the winner in a bit. 40k on the cards for you. Good evening. I will ask we revisit use phone. Our MPFL teams can't manage themselves, to talk of junior teams. I played for Buffalo Babes of Aba. My team won use phone under 13 in Kwara in 1985. Rafael Ndukwe Chuku was our captain. Use phone can help. This is from Kingsley from Shasha.
Well, I think we tried to re-establish something like that. The one they call the MPFL Youth League. We had it under Deco. You know, in fact, we've said it. We know what to do. You see this Nigeria, even the country at large.
Stay with me. You tell me more after this, please.
45, the all-new Heineken 45 CL. The H45 bottle is designed to fit into your lifestyle. It's the same great taste. Cheers to the new Heineken 45 CL. The new Heineken 45 CL with the same great refreshing taste, now in a size that
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.